And welcome back to HypeTrain, another reaction from the internet historian, and this is called A Curse of the Olympic Flame, and I've lost count of how many internet historian reactions we've done now, but I think we've still got a few more to go. So
I hope so. I did see a comment saying I used to support him, but he's not on here anymore. So is he actually...
Has he stopped actually? No, because he released one not long ago, the Varus one.
Oh,
we did the Varus.
We did, that wasn't that long
So
ago.
that wasn't that long ago, so no, he is still going.
Strange.
Yeah, but yeah, be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and give us any other recommendations, not only for Internet Historian, but anyone else wacky on the internet that you might want to...
any other history ones.
Especially history, yeah.
Yeah.
We like our history here.
do, really enjoy it.
So we ain't got much else to add there, so in the meantime, we'll go for this one.
Wow, okay, I'm going to be doing some real history for once.
What's the meaning of this? Who are you?
2,800 years ago, there were these guys called the Greeks. They're extinct now. But when they were around, they invented the Olympics.
Let me touch it. No.
To start the games, they would take a bunch of virgins, not that kind, who would do a ceremony and light a torch using a curved mirror. That torch would light a cauldron, which would burn throughout the duration of the games. Which didn't go for very long, by the way. Back then, there were only about 4 events. Stick throw, heavy frisbee, wrestling, and football. So you were done in about 45 minutes and back to the villa in time for a traditional taco dinner. But here's the important bit. The cauldron is tradition, but the torch relay is totally made up. It was invented in the 20th century for the 1936 Berlin Olympics as a symbolic piece of Aryan propaganda for you-know-who.
Oh.
And so ever since, it's been cursed. But wait, back to the thing, because you're probably wondering how the flame gets all the way from Greece to, say, Brazil with an open flame. Well, it goes by boat, bus, and plane, carried on 4 separate minor-style lamps. When it flies, it goes business class, by the way, on 2 separate flights.
Just for flame.
Cool, now you're up to speed, and I can start
Bad.
cataloguing the Olympic curse. Let's start with Rio in 2016. A country so corrupt the gold medals are made of chocolate, and the chocolate medals are made of street crime. The lavish spending brought politics into the games, and it quickly became a cat and mouse game between security staff and protesters.
Oh!
Wow!
Anyone try to put the flame outlet? They're nice people, aren't they? There's obviously some sort of major protest going on there. Oh!
Pelos homens da Força Nacional.
Wow. Nice flame.
What? A selfie with the accident.
Oh,
Why are so
no.
many people falling over with that thing?
I don't know.
They also had a jaguar as a mascot, which got spooked, probably by the fire, and then attacked one of the soldiers.
Jeez, bit me right in the face.
They shot it.
Oh no!
But this isn't the first instance of the Olympics killing animals. Seoul, 1988. To celebrate the occasion, they released 2,400 white pigeons into the stadium. A great idea on paper.
Oh, I
but then
didn't
comes the Olympic flame. And here's the big ceremonial... Oh no.
Oh no! No!
People reported the smell of burnt pigeon for several days afterwards. In 2008, the curse came to Beijing. Here's the route. Starting in Greece with protests. Then in Kazakhstan, the
Uyghurs.
activists attempting to disrupt, although they got arrested and deported back to China. Turkey, more of the same type of protesters and more of the same type of arrests.
You violated the law.
Russia, protests. Then in Great Britain, the torch relay had to be detoured several times. By the time it was gone, there were over 70 arrests, and the mayor described the security team as a bunch of thugs. Also a protester with a fire extinguisher.
So when we had the flame over here, because in England we had it here in 2012, didn't we? Yeah. I don't remember there being anything bad going on with the flame.
I don't think
our
news didn't show anything
they
like that. It just showed happy people running with it.
I even went to see it. I went locally to go and see it as well.
No.
But I also heard that they don't just have one lit. they have backups in case that one goes out.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. So all them people that you see in Rio or whatever, and they're trying to put the flame out, there's already another one lit, supposedly. I think they have like 3 or 4 of them.
I know
Well, on
it's
the
been quite
plane.
a bit on the actual thing, and I thought it was like a flame that couldn't possibly be put out. It was.
Well, I
like,
know they always change them canisters and things like that, but even on the plane, I think there was more than one on there, weren't there?
it looked like a row of them, didn't
It looked like
just
a row,
in
just in
case.
case. So, just,
maybe.
yeah.
France, more extinguishers and arrests. After 50 disruptions, they gave up and just hopped on the bus and left. Argentina, the flame was attacked with water balloons. Tanzania, no problems. Oman, no problem. India, more protests. Thailand, more protests. Malaysia, more protests. Indonesia, more protests. Australia, more protests. Japan, more protests. South Korea, more protests. North Korea, of course there were no protests in North Korea. Vietnam, protests. Hong Kong, protests. Macau, an arrest, and then finally to China, where the gods were so angry that the torch had made it, that an earthquake happened and 70,000 people died. Another thing that keeps
Why
going
are they
wrong
so
with the
upset
torch
about
relay
the flame?
is that they choose the wrong people to carry it. And then, when it arrives at the cauldron, it has a habit of going out. Montreal 1976 is considered the most disorganized Olympics ever. They had just finished building the stadium in time. Well, all except the roof. So every time it rained, it went out. Luckily, a well-meaning security guard was there to rekindle it with his lighter. Funnily enough, this isn't the first time that's happened.
It won't be the
2014, Sochi. He gets about 5 minutes in, and then, whoops, it's gone out. So he marches over to this dude, who just gives it the old Montreal special, and later had to douse it and relight it with the official flame. Also in Athens, in 2004, the official cauldron was snuffed out by a passing breeze.
Breeze.
2012, the London Games. A gust of wind blew out the flame during the opening ceremony in Olympia. Look at the panic on this woman's face. In London, the rafting team here has got
Well,
splashed.
what a silly
Oh,
idea
yeah, what
that
idea
was.
was that?
In Sydney in 2000, did they pick Sonic as their mascot? Protesters were there with a fire extinguisher, but failed. The ocean failed too. But
No.
your boy, Gust of
Can't
Wind,
go in the war with it.
did it again.
We could do, I suppose.
Anyway,
Yeah, probably not.
I think you get the point. That's about the end of the video. Except to say that it'll be interesting to watch out for Tokyo 2020. It promises to be one of the
Wow.
longest relays ever.
They got run all the way from Greece to there, haven't they?
Dab, dab, dab.
I don't think that. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't think so personally. But we already know.
Private jet straight across.
We already know that it's not going ahead this year, and it may well not be going ahead next year because of COVID. So
Yeah.
and even if they did hold the Olympics, would there be a whole torch relay, and then would there be fans going into the stadium? And we can only but hope in this day and age, and sometime real soon that via them vaccines they come to.
They would have to run with social distancing.
Well, yeah.
No one more than closer than a couple of metres from him.
Depends on the country.
Flame.
Some countries are like half a metre, some countries
well,
are 2
true.
metres, some countries just don't care at all.
Have a lighter on a stick.
But yeah, Internet Historian is still great to watch anyway. Narrates a great video.
Just an interesting bit of history.
It certainly was an interesting bit of history. Let us know your thoughts, any other calamities going on with the Olympic flame, and maybe what is actually your favourite moment from the Olympics. You're actually lighting the cauldron itself. One I always remember was, I think it's Muhammad Ali. I can't remember what Olympics that was from.
Oh.
He was there lighting the cauldron.
Okay.
Could have been back in the 90s. That was a good one. Well, there's one with an
yeah,
archer, weren't there? Bow and arrow. But there was a conspiracy around that because apparently he actually missed and someone was underneath just pressing the button and it just went off anyway. So no.
What are you going to say? Someone was walking around
We're bad enough with the pigeons, torching the pigeons, weren't they? What was that about?
trying to catch the arrow.
Oh no, horrendous. So anyway, let us know your favourite one. Not much else to add here, so if you are still here, thanks for joining us and we'll see you soon.
Catch you on the flip side.